Big thanks to Big Bad Toy Store for collabing on this 25th anniversary birthday celebration commemorative video. Check them out at the link in the description. Dragon Ball, horror, kaiju, and more. Steven's Toy Reviews. Hello there, collectors. It's going to be Steven here, and welcome to another Dragon Ball review, where today I'm doing something a little bit out of the ordinary, but this is going to be a fun video, I think, because we're taking a look at something that is a rare occasion, and not only is it for BBTS's 25th anniversary, but for Dragon Ball collectors, this is a last prize Ichiban Kuji figure brought to the international markets. That's right. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Son Goku and King Kai Dueling to the Future last prize release. That's right. This is a last prize release in the respective Ichiban Kuji release, and it is brought over to the US for normal retail release. Last prize figures are seldom brought over, so this is not only to commemorate BBTS for their 25th anniversary as an in-stock release for $69.99 today when this video goes up, but for you Dragon Ball collectors who love your Ichiban figures, you now have a chance to get the entire Dueling to the Future set of figures right at US retail. No differences from what is available in other territories, so that is great, except for the box, of course. Now, with that being said, we know that Ichiban figures, even though they may have a set price for US MSRP, Ichiban Kuji means the luckiest lottery, so price versus what goes into the figure can vary. So is this going to be a high quality figure that you're going to want to purchase, or maybe you're going to want to sit out? But guess what? King Kai there is pretty unique. So let's take a look to see whether or not this is going to be worth adding into your collection, because you're going to get a little bit extra bang for your buck. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and talk about the star of the show here, Goku, Angel Goku, and I think everybody knows and loves Angel Goku. I know Dragon Ball figure arts collectors, we're waiting for our day, but for here, I think as a large centerpiece for a Dragon Ball collection, I think this is pretty cool, especially with Akira Toriyama's passing, and that is one of the parts that they are incorporating into the concept of this release. The afterlife, otherworld, Goku here, and I think that as a special one-off piece, I think Dragon Ball collectors can definitely appreciate that regardless of the scale. It's also going to help out with King Kai. Definitely stick around for that. So for Goku, I have to say overall the quality is nice. The sculpted details are really cool. He does feel rather solid. Again, these are going to be somewhat vinyl figures. They're not going to be like polystone. They're not going to be resin. So they do have a little bit of bend to them. No points of articulation. And we're doing the 360 spin view. We're getting an up close and personal look. So Goku just looks good. There's no real issues with the paint applications. He's going to look good in all lights. I mean, I keep saying he looks good because the main body of Goku is just fine. There's really no problems there. For the halo, it is going to be attached on that peg. I almost accidentally snapped mine trying to get it in because I swapped the halos, I think. So make sure you are paying attention to the size of the peg going into the hole. Talking about the wings for Goku, they are nice and snazzy. They actually have a bit more of an intricate paint app compared to the main body because they do look like they're going to be a nice pearlescent white, but they are going to have a nice blue tone to them as well. The critique here for the wings is actually going to be that if you were to, let's say that there's going to be a paint scheme for the wings, and they're basically not mirrored versions of each other. So if that's something that may upset you, then that is unfortunately looking like that's going to be the case. Now, obviously, Goku is going to be flying, or floating in this case, so he is going to come with a support stand and his support base. So one is going to plug into the hip of Goku there, and the other is going to help support him by his shin. This isn't really a particular issue with Goku. I mean, it is, but it seems to be across the Ichiban product lineup. Sometimes when we have a support stand, it isn't necessarily always going to be supportive, and it's just more so going to kind of just let the figure float and almost be like a fallback. So the one that's supporting his shin there, it's not really touching Goku. You could like put pieces of paper between and you would be able to pass through just no issue. Like the Great Ape Vegeta that they did a couple years ago, that support stand doesn't really help. The Golden Great Ape, I recall that support stand not really being the best, one of the Shenrons. So it does help if the figure does sag, but we're trying to prevent the sagging. But nevertheless, if we get to that point, we have a support stand to help with that. Now King Kai, and King Kai's obviously, for me as a Dragon Ball Figuarts collector, first and foremost, this is going to be my star of the show here, because the whole purpose of this set, and I'll give you an idea when we get closer to the size comparison, is this is meant to be like a perspective shot, right? So we have Goku waving back to his friends and family saying goodbye, and then we have King Kai, who's meant to be pushed a little bit in the background. That's why he's going to be a smaller piece. But King Kai here is just big enough that you can kind of fudge him into your SH Figuarts displays. Now, even though he is going to be smaller, he actually has a bit more going on than Goku does, in terms of parts that need to be attached and so on and so forth. So as we're taking a look at the paint applications, the only real issue that I have on my particular unit is going to be one yellow splotch on the symbols on his main body. Other than that, everything looks fine. There's no issues with other paint being out of place. He does have that little beady sweat drop because, of course, if you're going on an adventure with Goku, even if you're dead, well, good luck. So for King Kai, when you do open him up out of the box, you are obviously going to have the halo, which is removable, and you don't have to have it on display. You are going to have the wings as well. The wings are dedicated to the left and the right side. Make sure you're paying attention to the pegs. That obviously is true for Goku, but it's a bit more apparent for King Kai to put that on your radar. But then we have his antennae. Antennas? Whichever the current English rule is. And with those, you are going to get them on runners, and make sure you're just careful that when you're snipping them, you don't actually snip into the antenna itself, or you leave a little bit too much off, because then it'll just look a little awkward. The biggest issue that I have with King Kai personally is we do have that support stand, which he's going to be at an angle. So whenever you display King Kai, if you're going to use the display stand, he'll always be at an angle, and I could never get him to be straight up. So you're going to have to call in an extra support stand to do that. But then again, for this set, that is what he is meant to do. Now, like I said, there's no articulation, no other accessories. So before we hop into a size comparison, I mean, this isn't the best, but this is generally the idea. You have Goku up front, you have King Kai in the back, and they're going on a trip to the afterlife together. Here's going to be a size comparison with some figures that I have, and as I think I've made mention a little bit here, I am not a major Ichiban Kuji collector or Ichibansho collector. I have a few here and there, but it's mostly to supplement my SH Figuarts releases, so I hope I have enough of a variety here for you so you have a good idea of about how big these figures are going to be. Now, if you are an SH Figuarts collector, let's go ahead and roll on over to the end because, you know, King Kai getting sick and tired of Goku picking fights with Beerus, buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. So if you're an SH Figuarts collector, I think this is a great set for you to pick up because you're going to get King Kai, who's going to be a stand-in or a placeholder for an SH Figuarts proper release at some point down the line, which, hey, that's cool because this King Kai actually does kind of blend into an SHF display. And then you're going to get a fantastic centerpiece with that Angel Goku you can kind of put like up on the top shelf and you can have him watching over your other figures. If you are an Ichiban collector, then congratulations, you have ease of access to a last prize figure. You don't have to go hunting down on auction sites. You don't have to try to find something internationally. Go to BBTS at the link in the description, add to cart right now, today, check out, add it to your pile of loot, whatever the case may be, and you are good to go. Now, I did note that there were a couple of things here and there, but honestly, those are subjective. You may be fine with it, you may not. Whatever the case may be, that's going to be back to you. I know that this was sent over as a review opportunity and collab with BBTS, but regardless, knowing what I know now, I would absolutely pick this up for what I said. Great centerpiece display, and I have a King Kai that is going to help my Z fighters learn the Spirit Bomb.